Let's try one more example where we have to find the inverse of a function. In this case, we're going to let h of x is equal to x divided by 2x minus 3. So moving on that step-by-step process like we have in your module number 2, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rewrite h of x as y. Okay, so step 1, we're going to rewrite h of x as y. So we have y is equal to x over 2x minus 3. Now remember, step 2 is to solve for x, but notice that I have x's in two places. So I have x's in the numerator and x's in the denominator. In that case, it's always best to clear out the denominator first. So I'm going to get the x's out of the denominator. And we do that by multiplying both sides of the equation by the LCD, which is 2x minus 3. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have 2x minus 3 times y is equal to, now notice that these guys are going to cancel. We have a factor of each in the numerator and in the denominator, so anything divided by itself is 1. We have 2x minus 3 times y is equal to x. Again, moving forward, we need to solve for x, so I'm going to distribute that y. We have 2xy minus 3y is equal to x. And now because I have some x's here and some x's here, I'm going to get everything with an x over on one side of the equation and everything without an x over on the other side of the equation. So that means I'm going to move this x over by subtracting x from both sides. So this gives us 2xy minus x minus 3y. And we can't combine that with anything because we don't have any like terms there, is equal to 0. And then we're going to add 3y to both sides of the equation because there is no factor of x in there. So we have 2xy minus x is equal to 3y. Okay, again, moving forward or thinking ahead, we want to get x by itself. And notice I have an x here and I have an x here. Our magic that we're going to use to get that x by itself is factoring. So let's factor that x out. We end up with 2y minus 1 is equal to 3y. And to get x by itself, we have x times 2y minus 1. So to undo that multiplication, we're going to divide both sides by 2y minus 1. And we end up with x is equal to 3y divided by 2y minus 1. Okay, so we took care of step 2. Step 2 was to get x by itself. Now remember what step 3 is. Step 3, I have to swap x's for y's and y's for x's. So step 3, we have y is equal to 3x divided by 2x minus 1. And then step 4, we're going to rewrite our y as the inverse function. We started off with h of x, so instead of calling that y, I'm going to call that h inverse of x equals 3x divided by 2x minus 1. So this is the inverse function of h of x.